What is up, guys? Prodigy here, and I got you guys today a pretty awesome way to kill almost any strike heroic boss under 20 seconds. And that's for you guys still running them heroic strikes or just farming them. Could be for keys, exotics, or even just Vanguard XP. But again, I'm going to be showing you guys how we killed almost every strike heroic boss this week under 20 seconds. With the way the modifiers are set up this week, we're going to be using 3 titans. But I think there is another way that this can work with hunters, but I'll explain later on. But on to the 3 titan method. As you've been watching in the background, it works pretty well. And to kind of explain what's going on, what are we using and how are we doing it, let's go ahead and start off with the modifiers of the week. So the 2 main important modifiers we have for the weekly heroic strike this week is airborne, which is you do more damage in air. To be exact, you do double damage. And we have specialist, which is you do more damage using a special, and to be exact, you do double damage. And I don't know if you guys knew, but this also stacks. So if you go ahead and jump and use your shotgun, you're going to do 4 times the damage. In addition to all that damage, we're gonna go ahead and come over to the Sunbreaker class right here, and we're gonna go ahead and mainly focus on Melting Point. I don't know if you guys know Melting Point, but this is the Titan's melee ability that when you melee a target, it lasts for about 4 to 5 seconds, but you do 50% extra damage for those 4 to 5 seconds. On top of that, we're going to be using hammers, and we're going to make sure to jump for every single hammer that we throw so we can get that double damage in air. Not only, we're going to also activate this perk, which is Scorched Earth. While we turn on our super or use our hammers, we're going to leave a pile of fire on the floor that does damage over time. While in air, this also does double damage. So while you're just sitting there in air jumping, throwing hammers, you're going to be doing double damage with your hammer. You're going to be doing double damage with the little fire on the floor. And just because we're going to be sitting in our little fire most of the time, we're going to put on some extra health because we're going to be taking damage from the boss. So we can just sit there and throw hammers at him all day with 50% extra damage and all the modifiers activated for the week. And to go more in depth regarding the setup on how we do it, again, all 3 titans will all be on the fire subclass. All 3 titans will have the exact same subclass with the perk set up, and all 3 titans must have a shotgun because that works really good after your super runs out. You do a lot of damage in air while Melting Point is active with the shotgun. The setup goes like this. First titan, which is me, I'll go in first. I'll melee to activate Melting Point for 50% more damage, and then I turn on my super. As soon as I turn on my super, I leave the little fire thing on the floor. I gain a shield, and then I start jumping. All of this while Melting Point is active for 50% more damage, and then I just start throwing hammers like crazy while jumping. The second titan at the same time will turn on his super and do the exact same thing. Just start jumping, throwing hammers, and if you want to even be crazy with it, you can throw a grenade between each hammer, and to cancel the animation to throw a hammer even faster. I don't know if you guys know about that, but there's a little trick to throw a hammer faster by throwing a grenade mid hammer throw. It'll cancel the animation, and then you can throw another hammer really quickly. And if you want to go all out with it, you can go ahead and add armamentarium. That way you can get a second grenade, and that way you go ahead and throw a hammer, throw a grenade to cancel the animation, throw another hammer really quickly, and then throw another grenade to cancel the animation, and then you can go back to throwing hammers. And all that, you get like 3 hammers in really quickly and 2 grenades for an insane amount of DPS while jumping. And again, you have to practice a little bit, but you can get it off really easy. But anyways, 2 titans do that at the beginning. The 3rd titan, you want to make sure he's having Melting Point active throughout the whole time. So again, the 3rd titan doesn't turn on his super at the beginning, but the 3rd titan is jumping and shotgunning while making sure Melting Point is active. And you want to make sure this 3rd titan has double melee. That way, while the 2 first titans that are on their super and jumping in air can do the most damage with their super, while the 3rd titan is just making sure Melting Point is active at all times. Once the 3rd titan gets his 2 melee abilities out the way and the 1st and 2nd titan super has ran out, the second Titan wants to go ahead and activate his melee ability. That way the third Titan can go ahead and turn on his super and go crazy ham, while the first and second Titan are just jumping and shotgunning to finish off the boss. And if you do this the exact same way, I promise you guys, man, they're literally, I think the hardest one was probably 17 seconds. I got every single boss under 20 seconds except one, which is the new Sepix Prime one, which you can't really do DPS like crazy because you have to pick up the cannons every cycle, you have to take off your shield, and you can't just do crazy amount of DPS. And even then, if you do crazy amount of DPS, which is at one point I did, you still have to go through the cycle of the cannons anyway. Even if you do like a lot of damage at the beginning, you still have to use all the cannons, so you can't really kill this boss really quickly. The next boss would be Omnigo. I didn't run into Omnigo. Sorry, I couldn't get you guys Omnigo. I played literally 3 hours of strikes to record this for you guys, and no Omnigo came up. But I believe every boss can be done 100% under 20 seconds with this method. All right, so now for my hunters that are still watching the video, to kind of show you guys how you can kind of do a similar method. You're going to still need a Titan, but 2 hunters. And the way I'm thinking about it, I still haven't done it. I can kind of get you guys a video about this if you guys want. Let me know by dropping a like. What I'm thinking about is we'll get 2 hunters. These 2 hunters will have their Celestial Nighthawk helmet, and then we'll have 1 Titan. 1 Titan will melee the boss. The 2 hunters make sure to jump up in the air, and that way their Celestial Nighthawk does, I believe, 6 times the damage of their super. While they're in air, it'll do 2 times the damage, and since Melting Point is active, it'll do 50% more damage. So I believe that would be even faster than this method. I'm not exactly sure, but if you guys want a video on that, just let me know in the comments or drop a like in the video, or just, yeah, do both. That would be cool. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. I would appreciate if you guys can take 2 seconds out of your time and drop a like, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.